So for my project, I did Real D Battleship using the Wire library, the Arduino Nunchuck library, and the Servo library. I also found that the input from the accelerometers from the Nintendo Wii Nunchuck was sending a lot of data very quickly. So I used a 5-point moving average to smooth out the motion of my turret. So I basically have two X and Y servos that are controlling the motion of the turret based on the motion of the Wii Nunchuck. Using the My Servo library, it makes it very easy to read the angles of those servos. And from those angles of the servos, I then remapped angles from the position of the servo into angles for the angle range I was actually using and measured on my turret. And from there, I was able to use kinematics to plot the distance that it would go, and then the cosine and sine of that would allow me to get the X and Y coordinates of where the missile would land once it was launched. So for my actual platform, I cut apart a Nerf gun and 3D printed some parts to be able to allow it to work as two separate components. I have a third servo that is actually hooked up to the Z button on the Arduino that will pull the trigger and use compressed air to fire the missile. Once that happens, it's taking my Arduino code is taking the XY coordinates from where the kinematics of where the missile would land, and it is sending it to a string over into processing, which is taking those coordinates that are coming in as an array and remapping them into a processing screen, which looks like this. So I have a battleship out in the sea, and every time I pull the trigger, my Arduino is taking the single XY coordinates of as soon as I hit the trigger, and it is mapping it over to processing, where it's plotting the trajectory where the missile would hit into the processing screen. And then the idea of the game is to try and get the red dots to hit actually on the battleship, hence sinking the battleship.